Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's October the 30th, 2024. Thank you for tuning in to Wake Up Everybody with Brother Phil and Brother Amir. I want you to like, share, and save. We appreciate everyone that's gone to our podcast on YouTube. Continue to support. Brother Phil, we've been going for 2 weeks, brother.
Yeah.
It's been a minute. And
Yeah.
a lot of things have changed in that short period of time,
Yeah.
man. This election is right around the corner, and you know we continue to get bombarded every day, with email, phone calls, commercials. It's laughable to me to see how people respond to these different types of things that are happening. You know, getting us sidetracked from what's really happening. Um, and in the last week, there's been three major recalls in restaurants and foods that we eat. You know, one being particular McDonald's. McDonald's. You know, the super duper of all fast foods had a recall on their onions um, for their quarter pounder. Just think about the quarter pounder was a recall because people are coming down with E. coli and several people have died in the Midwest, right?
Hmm.
But you mean to tell me they ain't using those onions for the cheeseburger, the Big Mac? You know what I mean? Like, and other locations, other restaurants have recalled as well. They've
Right.
taken it actually off the daggone menu, the quarter pounder. You
Okay.
know, um, but it's just strange to me that people just think it's just the onions on the quarter pounder.
Right.
Me personally, I think it's more in depth than that.
Yeah.
If it is the onions, that's number one. But just think about if someone came out and said the meat is contaminated, what would happen to McDonald's?
Yeah.
That kind of franchise.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure their hamburger processing company, whoever they may be, they're probably processing for other people as well.
Yeah.
So they don't want to shut down fast food for no imagination at all. It's just mind-boggling about that, and so many people haven't heard about that particular. Just say onions
Yeah.
is causing people to die.
Yeah.
You know, so that's interesting. But I finally got in the Lithia Springs mineral spring water. You got you some. Tell us how you feel about that water.
Oh, I enjoy it. I mean, of course, with all the changes I've been making for the health side, and most people out here were drinking these purified waters or whatever they're calling it. And I know that the mineral water coming straight from the earth
Hmm.
that has the minerals in it. And of course, when you came and brought it to me, it's amazing, like how I guess the universe brings stuff to you. Because
Hmm.
I have been looking for changing up in my water. I've been drinking some spring water, but then getting this that's coming from a spring, technically local, right here in Georgia.
Right here in Georgia. Yeah.
So yeah, I enjoy it. What I do every morning, I'm drinking an 8 ounce glass with my herbs that I'm taking.
Hmm.
So like I said, I'm trying to do everything I can to keep my system on the cellular level
Yeah.
as healthy as possible. So I'm not sure if people out here are doing different waters, but I know the alkaline waters they talk about a
Hmm.
lot. But I know this is straight from the earth,
Yes.
and I
Yes.
think
Yes.
this spring, I mean, you can explain it, but has been tested
Tested.
and
Yes.
confirmed
That's
that
correct.
everything that they're telling you on this label that it actually contains, it's in there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lithia Springs has been around offering water to the general public since 1888. They used to allow general public to come up to the spring, and just gather the water themselves with their own bottles or jugs, however you. But it became overwhelming when I talked to
Yeah.
the one of the owner's sons. The reason for looking for people to retail it is because it was just chaos
Right.
up there.
Yeah.
They were coming at night, different
Hmm.
times of the day. Unexpected people were coming. They're just all over the land. Um, so the benefits was unbelievable after it was tested. It's a natural detox.
Yeah.
It helps with the intercellular level, like you was explaining. Anti-aging, conducts ironic electricity to the body. It's good to perform natural balance to all your hormones through the
Hmm.
minerals that we lose every day. It has lithium and it helps to slow down the aging of the brain cells. Whereas now, I was talking to some gentlemen today earlier at this event that I was at that they've been diagnosed at 62 with early stage dementia.
Wow.
you know. But this gentleman told me he's been taking high blood pressure medicine and high cholesterol for half of his life. So he's never done a detox. I said, your body's full of metals.
Yeah.
But, you know, those metals got to filter through the whole entire body. And that brain is like a sponge. I was like, you need to do a detox yesterday, you
You know
know.
what we need to have a discussion about when you mention that, and I'm kind of just finding us out. I read everything. I always have. That's just from the time I was a child. I guess I was that curious. But when you go and you're getting prescription medicine, right? And I know you probably off the top of your head know the ones that people are taking for blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes,
Right.
right? Now, when they're prescribing this medicine to you, they are telling you what the side effects are.
Well, they
Correct?
give you that list.
Right,
You
but
get
I'm
that
saying
list.
they give it to you for you to read it.
Right. Right.
So, like I said, if people just took the time to read it, I know they want to stave off, slow down, and combat whatever health issue they're having. But when you're slowing down, just well, not slowing. When you're taking something for diabetes, for example, and I don't know what the typical drug is for that, but the typical one that they administer to you, it's going to cause you 2 or 3 other problems.
Yeah.
Correct? So I'm correcting diabetes. Like you just said, people are dealing with dementia, right? I'm almost sure it's coming from a diet, something you're eating or drinking, right? Or possibly medication you're taking.
It's mostly formed from the medication because the medications are so powerful with metals,
Right.
you know, and it's just messing with us mentally.
Yeah.
But that list that we get from that prescription drug that you go get filled, that's like just think about an athlete and we think about their stats.
Right.
Or we know he had 20 some odd points, 10 rebounds, and he's done this over the course, but we don't know, you know, how many minutes he's played. We don't know how many games he's played.
Right.
So if you Google that particular drug, it's going to give you the whole entire list
Right.
of all the side effects. Every drug has over 30 different side effects.
Wow.
Every last drug has over 30 different side effects. That's common
Yeah.
with these drugs. But I also wanted to share, because you know we always talk about different books.
Yeah.
This particular book is called the Mucusless Diet Healing System. And this book, as you see here, you can get it on Amazon. I don't sell it. You can get it on Amazon. It tells you about how to cure your body from all the different mucuses. This book was given to me several years ago from, you know, one of the farms that harvest our product up in Tennessee. This brother was a part of Dr. Sabi's retreat back in Honduras, and he ended up signing it for me. And I just go through it briefly. I haven't gone through it multiple times, but I wanted to bring this because it talks about getting back to the same thing we always talk about:
Yeah.
eating. You know, the diet. The body has mucus every day, regardless of how clean eat you. Regardless,
Right.
you know, it's just some mucus is worse than others, and some mucus is deadly, and that's why we have these terminal diseases at an alarming rate now because all this food is just so heavily processed that the body is like on overload with mucus. You know, when I was just listening to, for instance, Carmelo Anthony's son, he was talking, and just to listen to his voice, you could tell he was full of mucus.
Wow.
You know, because he was, you could hear him clogged. He was
Okay.
clogged. He wasn't clear in his conversation, and his words were slow.
Okay.
Yeah. So the body needs to be detoxed every day, whether it's cleaning out your lymphatic system with a tea, an herb, a detox, a liquid detox, drinking certain types of waters, you know, getting off the dairy, you know, stop eating processed foods, any type of farm raised food causes a tremendous amount of mucus in the body.
And the thing about it, man, I know we're on here discussing this from week to week. Just, I just for me personally, right? I'm not a religious person, but I know about the religious text, so I'm gonna speak of the Bible. There's a paragraph in there where they speak of, I think it's the 80 years or something. Like I said, I don't know it off the top of my head, but literally it's saying you're promised 120 years of life. I want all mine. No, legitimately, I want
I know.
120 full years. I'm at the midway, halfway point right now. I want all 120.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized that the job I have to do to preserve, this shell of mine, right, temple, is put the right things in it.
Yeah.
And I'm very thankful that I've learned, and this is where that reading thing comes in, very important, that I now know what I need to be doing. And I'm taking the necessary steps to try to ensure, other than something tragic happening. But when I go to my doctor, the first question they ask, I think if you're a black male of a certain age, and the numbers must be astronomical, I don't know what they are, but they literally ask, what are you taking?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like as if though I am.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And I tell them, I'm not taking anything. I've not been diagnosed with anything.
Right.
Right? But evidently, it's super high in our community of us having these diabetes, the high blood pressure, and the cholesterol problems, right? That lead to the dementias, that lead to the strokes and the heart attacks, the early death, right? And it's just a matter of educating yourself on what to do, right? The teas that are out there, these herbs to take on a daily basis, and just put the time in a few minutes, right? We're all walking around with these smartphones, and I know you can be distracted with entertainment. But I've learned if you just, whether you speak to the phone and it gives it back to you, I think I had a conversation with you earlier about this AI stuff out there.
That's right.
Right? Chat, GPT, and all of that. So if you use it the right way, they're giving you the ability to literally self-diagnose yourself.
That's true.
If you ask the question about your symptoms, right? Because that's really all the doctor does. His knowledge that he's gained, he or she, through school, and I think they have books. You tell them what's going on. They take your blood pressure and all the other necessary vital, that they take. But then they're going off of what you described to them, and they're giving you
That's right.
the recommendation.
That's right.
Right? So if we use this knowledge, use these phones, use this technology, the difficult part in staying healthy is the discipline to do the right thing.
The discipline. That's where that. Just think about this, Brother Phil. You and your wife have attended almost every festival that I've done this year, right? And there's all walks of life.
Yeah.
And just, we're very, very, very critical. And I am. I know it. I'm very critical of us because I want us to win. I want us to succeed. But it's all races that are facing the same dilemma of not educating themselves, don't like to read, won't ask a question. Why are you asking me to take this stuff? If I do take this, what are the side effects? Can you guarantee me that XYZ is not going to happen? Would you recommend taking this yourself? There's certain small questions, but in our community, it's at an alarming rate. I would say more of our women are in bad shape than the men, our women. From just say, we've been doing festivals this year since April to this past weekend. And our women are in bad shape, and our women are our foundation, our everything. And they take pride in everything that they do. Their work, their kids, their home, their families, their relatives, outsiders, and making sure they're always providing and have. Most of our women are the women that say, I can do anything. Our women are like super women, right? But when do you say, wait a minute, I gotta be cognizant of me and taking better care of me. I gotta start thinking about me. We could tell our women all day, listen, bae, hun, I want you this, I want you to do this, I want you to do that. But they have to have that in them to want to get better, get off of some of these drugs. A little bit of exercise. You don't have to join a gym. You can walk in your neighborhood. You can go to your local school, walk around the track, walk in the parking lot. There's so many different things that you can have certain pieces of equipment in your house now that fold down. You can put them underneath your bed. But our women, man, are in bad shape collectively. So most women, when I talk to them, they think that I'm always just pinpointing them. But when I try to talk to us collectively at a large, the different festivals that I've done, the calls that I get, the recommendations of people referring people to me, especially our women. Most men try to take care of themselves to as best as they can. If they're not in the gym, they may have a job that requires them to be physically fit. You know, sometimes they may be on the road, or you know, their position may not allow them to eat as healthy as they might want to.
Yeah.
But a lot of our women have, you know, jobs where, you know, they're sitting down, and you know, it requires them to think and do all those types of other things, and they're thinking about 10 other things outside of their job, and the last thing on their mind is their health.
Yeah.
The last thing on their mind is their health. We need to do a better job as African American men encouraging our women to do a better job, and we're there for them to support them, because you know, you have a wife, you're both in the same house. You know, if one going left, one going right, you know, not only that, no, 9 out of 10 times, it's not gonna work.
Nah.
You know,
Yeah.
but if you got your mate you're on the same page, all things are attainable. You know, whatever happened didn't happen overnight, right? And to get back to the way you really want to feel, the way you really want to look, that's a process. Every day, we should be doing something to regain the way we feel, regain the way we want to look, and you know that feeling of I feel good, that's undescribable. But that feeling of feeling bad, that's a look on your face.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I just, like I said, encourage people to self-educate. A lot of this information that Brother Amir and I discuss, YouTube gives up so much free information, and then Google, and like I said, this new Chat GPT AI. You know, if you're the type of person that, you know, I know when Brother Amir's out here doing these fairs, you know, some people don't like to admit that they're sick, right? I don't know, embarrassment, and people want to get healthy, but they're afraid. These are, I'm sure, a lot of people that are highly educated, because you know what you eat, as the old saying, "You are what you eat." We go back to that. They've been telling us that since we were children. So basically, processed food is trash.
Yeah.
Right? Take the time, and there's people on YouTube that break this stuff down. They showed, I think it was some McDonald's fries. Somebody had them, they left them outside for weeks, months. Right? If that was a real potato that didn't have some kind of chemicals in it, that thing would rot, turn green, and you know, it'd be nasty. They had this thing in its set. I'm talking about it might have been a year. Nothing happened to it.
Right. Right.
Something's not right. And I do understand taste. We eat things, they taste good to us, but as I said a few moments ago, I know I do. I want 120 years. If anybody out there that don't want theirs, I'll take the extra. I love living.
That's
I
right.
have a lot to live for. Yeah. My family's growing. I have some wonderful grandchildren. I would love to see them become grandparents. You know what I'm saying? But I've got to keep myself healthy.
Right.
So I'm doing my job. Take the time with your family, friends. If you don't want to speak to people about it, do your own little research individually. Yeah. Jot down what you need to do. My brother here has got a website with some wonderful products on there.
Yeah, you can visit us at www.goldenmerengausa.com, or our tea website is www.goldenleafteas.com. We still do free consultations. Most of my compadres, they charge as much as $300 to $400 for a consultation. We don't believe in that. We believe that this should be free to find out how to stay healthy and become healthy. So again, thank you for tuning in. This is Wake Up Everybody with Brother Phil and Brother Amir. Until next time, enjoy yourself.
Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.